Hello students, welcome you all to another revision class on English grammar, and today our topic is framing question. A Chinese proverb says, "He who asks question remains a fool for 5 minutes. He who does not ask a question remains a fool forever." And a modern educational leader once commented, once students learn how to ask their own questions, they can become active learners in every classroom, no matter the subject. Yes, students, asking question is the beginning of acquiring knowledge. In our class today, we are going to revise framing questions. I know we have dealt with the topic earlier, but you need to know about framing questions thoroughly. So, let's start our class today. Now, girls, before we discuss the rules of framing question, the question that comes into our mind is why? Why exactly we ask questions? Well, here are a few reasons behind asking questions. We ask question to acquire knowledge, to eliminate confusion, to guide a conversation in the direction we want it to go, or to demonstrate humility to another, or to enable a person to discover answers for themselves, or to stimulate creativity and idea generation, to gain a person's attention, to solve a problem, and most importantly, to reach agreement or to agree to disagree with clarity. So asking question, whatever the reasons may be, asking question is very important because it helps us uncover the challenges we are facing and generate better solutions to solve those problems. It's how we increase the capacity and potential in those we lead. A good question can create a wonderful moment, a magical moment, which can then lead to innovation and growth. It keeps us in learning mode rather than judgment mode. If you are asking a question, you are not rushing in to provide the answer, to give the solution, or take on the challenge. It's a good self management tool to keep you focused on the bigger pictures. So, asking question is very important, but to ask a grammatically correct question, you need to know the kinds of question that we have in English grammar. So according to English grammar, in English grammar, there are three major kinds of questions. They are number one, WH questions, or they are also called special questions or information question. Number two, simple questions or general questions, or yes or no questions. And the third one is disjunctive or tag questions or question tags. So these are the basic types of question that we have in English grammar. Now let's start our discussion with special or WH question. An information question or a special question, as you can guess, uses a certain word at the beginning of the sentence to ask a specific question. The question words are who, what, then, why, which, whose, whom, where, how much, how many, how long, how often, how far, how old, etc. So the question that start with WH words are called information question or WH questions. Now girls, let's take most commonly used WH words and study how questions are framed. Let us start with who. WH word who means a person. It refers to person. Statement, he is my brother. The framed question will be, who is he? The next word, WH word, is what. What is a word that conveys more than one meaning. Meaning wise, it may refer to a thing, an idea, an information, or an action. For example, if the statement is, I am holding an umbrella, the framed question will be, what are you holding? So, it is talking about or it is referring to a thing. Next statement is, I am thinking about visiting an old age home. What are you thinking about? So again, it is referring to an idea. Third one, dancing is her hobby. The framed question will be, what is her hobby? So it is asking about an information. The last one, they are playing. The framed question will be, what are they doing? So it is actually talking about the action. It is referring to the action that they are doing. Next word is when, and when refers to time. The statement, they will come tomorrow. The framed question, when will they come? So these are few applications of these three WH words. Next in the list of WH word, we have why. Why denotes reason. Statement, they are playing for fun. Framed question, why are they playing? So a question is asked to know the reason behind it. Next WH word is where, meaning place. I live in India. Question, where do you live? The third one is which refers to choice. He likes your blue pen. Which pen does he like? Next comes how. How refers to manner. Statement, he behaved politely. Framed question, how did he behave? And the last one, how often, meaning frequency. Statement, Delhi, they go to the nearby park. Question, how often do they go to the nearby park? So these are only a few WH words that we have discussed here. And if you want to know more than this, you will need to study and practice on your own. The next kind is yes or no questions or simple questions. Simple questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no are logically called yes-no questions. As a rule, this kind of question relates to the whole sentence and not to a separate element of it. For example, you are doing the sum. Are you doing the sum? Statement, they have fun. Do they have fun? Statement, they have had fun. Have they had fun? Statement. They will attend the meeting. Will they attend the meeting? And the last question. I can play. Can I play? Now, girls, in the last question, you can see that we have used a modal verb. And another thing you need to notice in sentence number 2 and 3. In sentence number 2, we have used have as the main verb. So, we have to follow the rule of using simple present tense, that is do plus root verb structure. And in the sentence number 3, when we have used have as the present perfect form, we have to use have as the auxiliary verb. So, you have to be very careful about selecting the auxiliary verb over here. And another thing I just want to add over here is you can also frame polite questions or question to request someone about something with the help of modal verbs like would, could, and so on. Now let's discuss tag questions, question tags, or disjunctive. This type of question is also made up of two parts, where the first part is a positive statement and the second part is a negative, or vice versa. The first part of the sentence defines the expected answer. If the statement is positive, a positive answer is expected. If the statement is negative, a negative answer is expected. Now, for example, I am going with you, aren't I? Jane isn't in France, is she? She sent me an invitation, didn't she? Our dad will come soon, won't he? So, here there are some exceptions. I am going with you, aren't I? Yes, you are. So, you can't say, I am a great person, am I not? That would be incorrect. Just remember that when the pronoun I, that is the first person singular number, is used, the tag is aren't I or are I. Tag questions are only used in conversational speech to clarify information or to confirm or to refute something if there are doubts. Once again, I just want to repeat the rules of question tags. For affirmative sentences, the question tags are negative. For negative sentences, the question tags will be positive. So, what are the basic rules of framing questions? Let us discuss it with the help of sentence structure. Now, let us take an example. They are playing football. Now, here, they is the subject, are playing or root verb, play is the verb, football is the object or complement. So, the order is subject, verb, complement. And when we frame question on this with the help of a WH word, the question will be what are they doing? So here the WH word is what, auxiliary verb are, subject they, verb doing, which is the present continuous form of do. So here for WH question, the order is WH word, auxiliary verb, subject, verb and complement. Next, if we want to frame question, a yes-no question or a simple question based on the same statement, our question will be, are they playing football? So here the order is auxiliary verb, subject, verb and complement. Now girls, let us quickly revise the rules of framing questions, and we will start with WH question. In WH question, the verb precedes the noun or pronoun which we call the subject. The structure of the sentence is inverted in a question. Likewise, subject verb complement becomes verb subject complement. You need to check the verb and tense given. You are expected to use the same tense while framing the question. If the sentence is in the present tense, your question is going to be framed in present tense. Suppose you don't have any auxiliary verb in the sentence. You need to understand the tense of the sentence. For example, if you have a sentence in the simple past tense, you will have to use did plus the root verb. For example, I went there. Did I go there? So did plus go. Meaning wise, it is actually the past tense of go. So, because when you use did plus root verb, that implies the meaning of the question same as the given sentence. Now, if you have a sentence like, I have to finish my project by next Sunday, here you will have to minutely study that have is used as a main verb. So you will have to follow the rule of using simple present tense, that is do plus root verb. And when do you have to finish your project, that will be your framed question. Whereas in the sentence like, I have just finished my project, have is used as the present perfect auxiliary verb. So here your framed question will be, when have you finished your project? For a verbal question or yes/no type question, all the verbal questions have yes or no answers, and the reason why such questions are called yes or no questions. And here, as I've already told you, that you can frame question with the help of auxiliary verbs and with the help of modal verbs. But there are so many modal verbs, but we cannot all the modal verbs to frame question except for a few. And for question tag, you will have to remember one thing. For first person singular number, that is for I, it is always RI or aren't I. So this is one exception that you need to remember for question tags. Now girls, here are some practice materials for you. Frame questions with the following sentences. The defenders successfully repelled every attack on the city. Number 2, this scene is surpassingly beautiful. Number 3, he is admittedly the greatest general of the country. Number 4, they welcomed the good news most joyfully. Number 5, though the ant is small, it is as intelligent as the elephant. Number 6. He said he regretted that he had acted so hastily. Number 7. He was so active in his old age that everybody admired him. Number 8. Before I pay you what is due, you must sign this receipt. Number 9. The best way to be healthy is to be temperate in all things. Number 10. Hearing their father's footsteps, the boys ran away. With a great effort, he lifted the box. 12. The man, being very hungry, ate too much. 13. In spite of his great strength, he was overcome. 14. Against the wishes of family, he left the school. 15. He was universally respected on account of his virtue. 16. His friend having helped him, he is prospering. 17. Being a cripple, he cannot ride a horse. 18. The rain having washed away the embankment, the train was wrecked. 19. Finding himself in difficulty, he went to his teacher for help. 20. My being now in Mumbai, I shall go there to meet him. 21. In the event of such a thing happening, I should take long leave. 22. They are forbidden to enter the sacred place on pain of death. 23. To make certain of getting a place, you must apply early. He intends to try again, notwithstanding his repeated failure. Number 25. In spite of all my advice, he has done this foolish thing. Number 26. By reason of his great ability, he has been able to win a high position. Number 27. Though no fault of his own, he has become very poor. Number 28. Knowing no better, he used very inaccurate language. Number 29. His shoes having broken, he was left defenseless. Number 30. He was rejected owing to ill health. Number 31. I do not like him on account of his pride and boastfulness. Number 32. To avoid punishment, he ran away. 33. In his ignorance, he followed the wrong course. Number 34. Having made no provision for old age, he is very poor. Number 35. Out of a desire of revenge, he agreed to do this. And the last one, 36. To add to their troubles, a tire burst on the way. Girls, I hope that you have found the class to be helpful. Do the exercises given at the end of our discussion and stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you all.